Hello, family. I should take this off. This bugs me. I've got my work line on, and if it actually calls through, I'm gonna hang up with us, and I'm gonna take the call. I just am because I gotta work. I had something wrong with my phone, and I don't know what it was. It was like some strange system that they have updated or something, and it's not compatible with the phones. And it's interesting. It's like, oh, well, don't tell anyone to check it, right? So what would happen was I would say, hello, hello, and I couldn't hear them, and they couldn't hear me. The only way that I could receive a phone call was if I was on the line and another call came through, and I could swap it. Isn't that odd? And so anyway, I spent about 2 hours on the phone today with Verizon to find out that the voice data was turned off. And I don't know why it was turned off. I didn't do it. I took it in probably when I was up in the mountains, and I think they turned it off and said, while you're in the mountains, it doesn't work very well. Anyway, so this morning I started out doing private readings, and I didn't start working until 1:30, and phone didn't work. So 6 o'clock, and I thought, you know, I spent a lot of time on my patio today working with my garden, and I thought I'll do a reading with you guys. So I've already got the decks here. We could go outside on the patio. It's beautiful out there. Let's go outside. Let's go. And you know what? I'm going to shut my work line off. What the hell? I haven't been working all day anyway. What's the point, right? Screw them. We'll take the decks that I have with me, and I don't know why, but these are the decks we're working with. Woo! Mildew Fairy. So there's stuck emotions right now that need to be worked on, that need to be released. Yeah, this is where we want to be. It's beautiful. My garden, look at my roses. Oh, wait till you see. Wait till you see what a freaking green thumb I have. I do have the greenest thumb. Okay, I'm dropping my shiz all over the place. Stop already, will ya? That's enough, just that deck. Okay, I'm gonna switch to, no I won't. I was gonna say I'll switch to my sunglasses, but what's the point? I don't have a lot of sun out here anyway. Okay, so I can't see you, but that's okay, you don't need to see me. Why don't you guys just look out there while I figure out what we're gonna work with. Now, I told you I had the greenest thumb on the face of the planet, and I do. Wait until you see Mr. Rosewood. We're gonna choose for Mr. Rosewood. This is one of our items. Look at all the new buds, all the new growth. See, all he needed was just a little bit of care. I gave him a beautiful pot. I gave him a happy pot. Turquoise is my soul color. Goes with the green. Lime green is new growth. Happiness for the divine masculine. White for purity and truth. And I babied him, and he's doing fantastic. And she's got, you know what I did? And this is something that we all have to learn. I put so much attention into Mr. Rosewood. I was so concerned with him that, and I thought, oh, she's doing fine, she's doing fine. I'd look at her, the soil, and oh, it looks okay, it looks fine. Not realizing that the color of the soil was dark because there was moss on the top, but the moss was rock hard. I came out here and all of her rosebuds, that one's dead, this one's dead, this one's dead. They were all dead. And I was like, oh my God, here, she looked fine on the surface, but she wasn't. Just like he was in great distress, right? So I put all of my energy into that. And it's telling you that, you know, something might look good on the surface, but it's not looking good. That's the message about, you know, somebody could be smiling and happy and putting on a great, you know, putting that energy out there, but inside they're dying for moisture. They're dying for attention. They're dying for water, which is what she was. So I was really sad because she was completely covered in rosebuds. She was really happy, and they all died. And so I gave her extra care, and I put her in a different pot. I put her in a pot where I can actually, I'll show you. This is like ICU for me. I gave her, remember I gave him the best pot? And I'm like, no, I love that pot. I gave that pot back to me, and I bought that happy little pot for him. So what I did was I put her in ICU, and I switched her into a see-through pot where I can actually see the water, if there's not enough or there's not too much. It's literally what a doctor would do, right? I can monitor. And I gave her some liquid medicine, right? I gave her some vitamins. And this popped up this morning. This popped up standing. This popped up standing. And there's new growth. So she just needed a little love. I got a new old pot for this one. I repotted the catnip in there. And now everything is all set up here. So what we're going to choose from, and that one's just going gangbusters. So we're going to choose from the new sprouting Mr. Rosewood. We're going to choose from the catnip pot. My cats go crazy over that. And we'll choose from, this is called a black rose. It's leaning, so I have to, it's already started to turn. It follows the sun, right? And it was leaning the other way, so I had to turn it around. So we're going to choose from the black rose, Mr. Rosewood, the catnip pot, 1, 2, 3. Do we want Mrs. Rosewood again? Yes, we do. So Mrs. Rosewood in the black pot. Those are our items to choose from. Okay? So don't forget, while you're loving someone else and worrying about someone else, to make sure that you take care of number one, because you're no good to help anyone else if you fall apart, right? So for those who chose Mrs. Rosewood, we're going to go to the Oracle of Shadows and Light. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose Mrs. Rosewood, I wanted to show you another plant that I got. My landlord's got succulents. They're drought-tolerant plants, which don't mean, and he says, well, they're drought-tolerant and they're dying. I said, it doesn't mean that they're drought-resistant, like they can handle no water. They got to have some. And one by one, the pieces were falling apart and breaking and dying off. And this one little piece was left, and it was struggling. And so I took it upstairs, and I brought it with me. And in the sun, it changes colors. Isn't it beautiful? So it's going to get love and attention up here and grow. And all of the little victory sparrows plants, they were dying off. They're coming back. I had something I was going to talk to you guys about today. I had incredibly lucid dreams all night last night, and I got all kinds of information, fed me information. I saw the truth in situations, and I thought, wow, really? All this stuff. And I was going to talk to you guys about it, and I was going to warn this person in my life, right, about what was going on. And I thought, you know what? Figure it out yourself. I'm not your mother. Figure it out yourself. I'm glad I'm not your mother. And I'm sorry you have the mother you have. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose Mrs. Rosewood, correct for neutrality. There is somebody who's been befriending me, pretending to be my friend, and they're not. They're a man posing as a woman, and they're just trying to get information, and it's a joke, and I'm over it. I'm so over it. Go away. You know, go away. You're never going to get what you want, and I don't even care anymore. Correct for neutrality. For those who chose Mrs. Rosewood, there you go. Carnivorous flower fairy. So there is someone that is posing themselves as a friend, as a tempting offer, as an opportunity, as a lover, and all they are is a freaking energy vampire. They are a narcissistic fairy. This is a tempting offer, has an extremely high price, and don't go there. I've given this card to my landlord so many times when he's been offered a project of something, you know, and I said, I'm getting that they're lying to you. You're never going to get the money. You're going to be strung along. It's never going to happen. And this is basically it. This is basically, it could be a job offer. It could be a relationship, somebody who's telling you that they love you, and they're full of shit. They're just there to suck your energy. They don't want anything from you. They're good to you when things are going well, but they feed off of you. They're there to consume your energy. This one has dark hair and blue eyes, and they're there to offer you something, and it's basically somebody who's there to get what they want. They consume more than they give. It could be an organization, it could be a job, it could be a person, it could be the environment that you're around, a toxic environment. They look very beautiful, they look very innocent, they look like, you know, it's not something that's not going to hurt you, like this innocent girl. Oh, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm just a sweet little thing, right? But I devour everything in sight, everything around me. I'm there to feed off of anyone and everything. I will dominate, I will control, I will criticize, I will put other people down. That's my nature. I'm a narcissist. I'm entitled. I feel I'm entitled to everything. It should be me. I want the attention, but I can't figure out how to get it for myself. I'm going to feed off of you because I'm jealous of you too. I'm jealous of you because you've done the work and you've been successful, and yet I can't seem to manage to do that on my own, so I'm going to ride on your coattails. And then if you try and deny or speak to them about this, they'll deny it. They'll get really nasty and angry. They won't let you hear them, and they won't hear you. So you don't have to fight with them. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your time. This is a dangerous alliance. You don't want to align with this one at all, and you don't want to be their experiment. don't bother. Don't be afraid, but just tell them to piss off. You know, sorry, next. I'm not interested. So pay attention right now to the next things that come up, the things that you're offered, and see what comes to you. The next item we're going to go to is Mr. Rosewood, and I definitely choose that one, and we already got a message. Death shall not take him. We'll see if it comes out again. It's come out several times today. Right when you think if something is completely over, right when you think you've tried your last try at something, it's your last shot, you hit a brick wall every freaking time, you're not getting anywhere, no one hears you, you've got a health challenge and you think, you know, the options, you've gone through all the options. It could be a project, could be a relationship. I'm just done. Fuck you. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done working on this. I'm done putting myself last. I'm done waiting for you to, you know, grow some balls and step forward. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Over. Not Mark. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We're finished. All of a sudden, it bursts back to life. Or you're feeling that way, like, oh my God, I can't reach them. I can't get through. I can't get through. And all of a sudden something happens and it's literally God's breath. It's divine intervention, because Spirit knows what's good for us even if we get pissed off. Even if we're angry, Spirit knows what's in our highest good. So it could be our own selves that are saying no thank you, right? But then Spirit steps in, and that's the breath of God breathing back into something. Or it could just literally be that you have lost all faith in something, and I'm so downtrodden, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Forget it, you know? Death shall not take him. I got that card today from my friend Blaine, who has a brain tumor and he's having surgery in 6 weeks. And I know that. I know he's going to be fine. And I asked for him and I got that message. And death shall not take him. So it could be that, right? Somebody with a health challenge and they're very scared, because Blaine has 3 options in his surgery. 1 is coma, 2 is complete recovery, and 3 is death. Those are the options he was given. Paralysis, coma. I think the paralysis coma goes together. And I'm just like, oh my God. But Spirit says, no, it's going to be good. And the power of prayer works. So do pray. And just as I said that, the biggest, I call him a dragonfly, but the biggest dragon just flew up. The vulture, which represents death, transformation, and rebirth. So again, right when you thought something was done. So something could be done, but it's going to burst back to life, or it's going to come back to you in a new way. I love watching them fly, the big flyers. I know to you they're not that big because I'm at a little bit of a distance. I don't know that why, when I sit here looking through this lens, I'm standing right next to this camera, why does that bird not look the same size to you as it does to my camera? I mean to my eye. It doesn't make sense to me. It should be the same. My eye should be the same as the camera lens. Okay, Divine Circus is going to be for the ones who chose Mr. Rosewood, who's literally bursting with new life. See, that's the divine intervention, just bursting. Everyone, my landlord said that's dead, it's dead. The lady at the grocery store, that's dead, there's nothing left. You guys saw it, it was crisped. But I knew. All right, 2 more I just heard. Sorry, I have to go until I feel like it's ready or Spirit tells me to stop. Now, correct for neutrality. For those who chose Mr. Rosewood, the Sacred Fool. This came up today in my reading too. There's a pair flying together right now. Dragonfly. Why do I keep calling them dragonflies? Vultures. The Sacred Fool, I'll tell you the story of the Sacred Fool. And so this for me is double confirmation, because I already did a private reading for hours today and this was a feature. And so it's coming back again for the 2nd time today. So the Sacred Fool, we talk about the king, right? Someone of authority, and they want information. You're the king, you're the queen. And yet the king in the high court, he doesn't go to his round table. He doesn't go to his knights. He doesn't go to his soldiers. He doesn't go to his right-hand man. He goes to the fool. Because the king knows that if he went to his knight, to his knights, to the men that are on his council, they're either going to tell him what he wants to hear, like, you know, feathering his cap, or they're going to say or do what they can do that's going to make them look good, that put them in good standing. He wants the truth. He doesn't want somebody to blow smoke up his ass. So he goes to the fool, the jester. And what's interesting, I love this. What I spoke about was, I am the fool. I'm Aries, and I am a sacred fool. Because a lot of people say what I do is foolish. She's an idiot. What is she doing? She's ridiculous. But I get this a lot from people that don't non-believers, right? People who don't believe in spirit, in this form. And yet I have absolute trust and faith in spirit. So I'm a sacred fool. If spirit tells me to jump, I say where, and I jump. How high? Let's go? All right, we're going to do it, right? And I don't know, my friend just sent me a message. I thought it was closed. So he goes to the fool, and the fool is just honest. He doesn't have an agenda. What I noticed was the three. So to me, it's a third-party situation, third-party interference. 3 is also ascended masters working with you. It also means full circle completion. The death, transformation, and rebirth speaks about completion, right? There's little bells on here. I think about Notre Dame burned down, right? The tower burned down, the weakest point. They knew that tower needed to be repaired. They had been putting it off for a very, very long time. It was very, very weak. They had crumbling pieces that were falling to the ground. If they had started the work and repair on it earlier, it would have been stronger. It went up very fast. There was no saving it. The song, or the message, "For whom the bell tolls," comes to mind. The bells also, I'm here with bells on, meaning I trust you. I'm ready. Like I'll say to spirit, I'll be there with bells on, right? So here's the fool. I'll be there with bells on. You want me to jump? I'll go. And so he goes to the fool, and the fool tells him the truth, the unadorned truth. Now, another aspect of your life is that there's a dream that you have, a vision, and other people are going to look at you and they're going to say that you're a fool. You're naive. A lot of people say that to me. You're very naive to believe that, Sherry. You're so naive. No, I'm trusting. I'm honest. The fool is honest. That's why the king goes to him. There's no lying. There's no hidden agenda, right? The court, they have a hidden agenda. They're thinking about themselves, how they're going to look in front of the king, how it's going to affect them personally, but the fool doesn't. He's just going to tell the straight, honest truth, right? So if you have a dream about something, some people will say that you're delusional. You're an idiot to believe in that. You're a fool. That's not going to ever happen. You know, they're going to try and when you refuse to give up on something, they're going to think that you're crazy. What is wrong with you? But you're not foolish. Just like the king is not foolish to trust the fool. You are trusting in spirit. You're a sacred fool. You're trusting in what others can't see, right? And whatever this is that others may tell you, it will never come to be. We just got death shall not take him. Whatever you think is impossible is witnessing the possible. And I just got confirmation. Did you hear that? And so don't listen to the voices of the other ones that are telling you that your idea or your plan or your belief and what you're trusting in is foolish or naive, because it isn't. You're not making a politically smart choice. Like the knights or your trusted advisors. They're making politically smart, correct, they're giving politically correct answers. We don't do that. We tell the truth, the straight up truth. Don't ever ask an Aries for the truth, because they'll tell you it. And you may not like what you want to hear, but at least we're honest. I'd rather be slapped with the truth than hugged with a lie. So when the fool here is coming forward, it's spirits telling you, take a chance on something. They want you to take a chance on something. There's something that they're coming forward. There might be something that's inconvenient for you. It might be something that feels scary to you. It may be turning your world completely upside down. Spirit's encouraging you to take this leap of faith. This is the leap of faith. You don't have to try and figure out how it's going to happen. You know what, I was looking at box vans today. A box van. They for $5,000, $6,000 you can get a box van, 23 feet long. The studio that I was going to get in Sedona was 12 by 20. So it's basically my studio on wheels. I like that. I want to do something like that. I've been wanting to do it for a really long time. Somebody may think that's really stupid. I think it's a really cool idea. As I was looking at it, I looked up a $140,000 Mercedes Sprint van that had been done, right? And of course, it's a Mercedes. And I looked at it. It was done very beautifully. It wasn't as wide as the box van. There was more room in a box van. And I'm not going to spend $140,000. If I had $40,000 to buy in a vehicle, I wouldn't be getting that, right? So, it's something that I want to do. And as I was listening or looking at it, the song came on the radio. And the song can be taken two ways. I like it. I see it. I want it. I have it. I want it. I like it. I see it. I want it, I'll get it, it's mine. I like it, I want it, I'll get it, it's mine. As I started saying that, I saw it, I liked it, I want it, it's mine. I saw it, I liked it, I want it, it's mine. It's not my job to figure out how it's going to happen. I want that. I want something like that. It makes sense to me. It needs to be at least that size because I have 3 cats that have to go with me. I've not given up this idea. I have not given up this idea. I haven't seen it come to fruition yet, but I haven't given up, and I don't really care if somebody else thinks it's foolish. I like the idea. It's also something that could tow my car, which means I could have 2. So for you, whatever the issue is, Spirit wants you to take a chance. They want you to take a stand. They want you to speak up. They want you to listen to yourself and not listen to the voices of others that are telling you that it's too difficult, that it's too dangerous, that it's foolish, that it's stupid, that you shouldn't act on it, that it's inconvenient, that, oh, this could happen or that could happen. If this is what you see, is this what you like, is this what you want, go for it. That's the message. Spirit is advising you to do it. Okay? Next message coming forward, it's coming from the Vampire deck, and it's going to be for the people who chose the Rock Rose. It's actually not called a rock rose, it's called a black rose. And the reason I say that is because you would think a black rose is like a rose of death. And my dreams were extremely macabre last night. They were vile and disgusting. And I just want to see. So I'm going to choose it because I want to see what they have to say about who I watched and what I watched. I really was going to go on about it today and do a whole reading on it because it was so intense. And the warning was so clear. And I literally was told, someone is waiting for you. They're waiting for information from you. And I thought, if they want information from me, they can freaking pick up the phone and call me. Now they'll get through, right? It's not my job to save the entire world. And my client called and said, it wasn't even a client, it was a friend. I need this, I need your help. And I said, okay. She came over and it took over precedence and I completely pushed it out of my mind. And basically because it was toxic. It's not my problem, it's their problem and they need to figure it out on their own. So I'm just curious if I'm gonna get like a confirmation here. Let's see. For those who chose, I love this plant, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It looks like it's a sundial. It's a succulent. Isn't it just incredibly gorgeous? And look inside. Look at all the little babies inside. It's so beautiful. I've got this one too. See how it turns to the light? Ooh, it needs water. I watered it last night, but obviously I just caught it. So I have to turn it because as the sun grows to the sky, across the sky, it follows the sun, which is what we're supposed to do. Turn our eyes to Spirit. And you do what you can do during the day, and that's it. At night, you let it go. You let go of your worrying. You let go of what you can only do what you can do in one day is the message. Don't kill yourself trying to get it all done. Don't kill yourself trying to figure out how far ahead you can go. You can't go past today anyway. So all that really matters is the one step today, right? Keep your thoughts positive. Keep focused. If you have a message from Spirit that needs to be delivered, they will make sure you get it. As long as your head is open, your mind is open, your heart is open. For those who chose the Black Rose, Supernatural. I love this. This is an incredible card. Okay, I'm looking at Siam. This could be a male or a female. I'm looking at my little kitty with that white hair and the beautiful big eyes. Look at the fish. Fish talk about abundance, but these are black moors. Do you see them? Just like the Black Rose. These are black moors. So inexplicable, miraculous, otherworldly. How many of them are in this? So the number is 39. If I don't think of a number, like if there is a number on a card and I don't think to mention it, it's not meant to be mentioned. I will be prodded by Spirit. This time I was prodded. So, there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them. There's 5. There's a little one coming from the back. And just like when I spoke this morning to my friend, when there's challenges, difficulties, arguments, lying, manipulation, whatever it is around you, there is a need for change. And because of that, there is going to be a change that takes place. And it's always going to be for the better. So if it's difficult for you to go through this change, it's Spirit's asking you to call upon them to help. Because as I said to my friend this morning, Spirit is bound by the law of free will. Even though it's Spirit, they're bound. We have been given the gift of free will. And so unless we say to Spirit, I need you to help me, please help me, do something about this, they don't step in. They can't step in. It's against the law. That's why it's not okay to do binding spells. That's what I was going to bring up. So now it came up, I'm going to talk about some of it. There is a man, a dark-skinned man. I'm not going to say the race because I don't want any prejudicial parts to come into it, but it's from someone that lives in Florida. And I told you, I spoke to you about this before. They are using binding spells. What I heard in the middle of the night was, it's not Santa Marietta. It's not that one. It's, what's the song? I don't do Santeria. Santeria? Ain't got no crystal ball, blah, blah, blah. Santeria, that's what they do. It's black magic. And it's mixed with the African culture. The African culture, and they're associated with Cuba, or they're in Miami area is where they are, and they are using black magic to control and bind another. And it's a man. I've been shown this. It's a man that's doing that. It's trying to hold someone in place. And what I watched was very macabre. I went to hug someone. I thought they were a friend, and they were not a friend. In my dream, when I go to hug someone, that means I think that you're my friend. They weren't my friend. They were evil. They were, and what I saw in my mind's eye was a ferret or a weasel with red eyes. They were a devil. They were a demon, is what I got. That person is Daddy Longlegs. It's somebody's father. Daddy Longlegs is what I call him, and he's trying to be a friend. He comes across, he will probably come across as a woman, and he's using black magic. He's literally, I heard in my head, Lily likes dark meat. So it's likes a dark person, connected. So it could be that somebody is married or married a woman that is dealing with this. But whatever this is, there's black magic, and in the Cuban Miami area that's dealing with this. So the black rose is who it is. There's a black person, black-skinned, dark-skinned person. And what I heard was, right after that, after I heard the song Santeria, I heard it in my dream the night, just Santeria. And then I watched the dream, and then when I woke up, the song came on. And then I heard, and I was wondering who it was in my mind. In my mind's eye, I thought I knew who it was showing me. And the song came on just like I thought. I'm a dangerous man with some money in his pocket. I'm a dangerous man with some money. Guess who's back again? Dangerous man with some money in his pocket. And this is somebody that keeps coming back to me with a woman's name. I know it's a man, and it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what I do, they don't go away. So it's just, to me, it was about, I'm just going to say that much to you, and you can do whatever you want with it, but I'm not giving it my energy. So the message here that's interesting to me is these fish are breathing air. Okay? It doesn't make sense for a fish to breathe air. They're also flying fish. Okay, well, we know about flying fish, but that's really because they just come shooting out of the water, and their gills are like wings, and they fly across the water, but they live in the water. But these are flying fish that breathe the air, right? So this is like a vision, and it's surreal. I don't get this. I don't understand. You know, what's interesting is she's very connected to this fish. Look at the necklace around her. It's also a silver fish, right? So this is about receiving messages beforehand from Spirit, like I do, right? And it's supernatural. And when you develop these gifts and you work with these gifts, you can use these to help yourself and to help others. When I get information, I mean, the information that I gave my client this morning, she was just like, oh my God. The way Spirit works with me is I'll get a hit on something. Like I thought about the black rose. The black rose, it's a female, right? Somebody or a male. The black rose, what does it mean to you? It could be, it's a drug. There's all kinds of things. I'm not going to go into it. You know what it means for you. But I'll get a hit on that, and then it'll take me to this, and then it'll take me to that. And so that's how and then I research that, then I look that up, then I'll look at the lyrics, and then I'll look, so then and then I get a hit on something else, and I think, that must mean this, and if you get this card in this deck, I'm right. I use the next deck, and boom, there's the card. Yes, I was right. Oh, wow. So if you learn how to develop your gifts, you start, there's an abundance that we all have of these gifts. We need to practice them, right? And it's our job to practice them. It's our job to develop them. And to deliberately use them in a way that is going to help ourselves as well as helping others, because we are not natural. We are supernatural. There's nothing bad about that. What I watched in my dreams was somebody using black magic. It was vile and disgusting what they were doing. They were consuming. They were literally feeding off of another, because that's what it is. They're energetically feeding, right? And what I watched was macabre. I watched somebody literally feasting on another. It was disgusting. Oh, and there's my babies. Literally, these are my babies. Those are the 4 Canadian geese babies. And when the Canadian goose goes by, what does it tell you? The first message is, pay attention to what the message is from Canadian goose. You never leave a wounded bird behind. If there is someone that's not well in your tribe and it's time for you to fly, one will stay behind with that one until it either recovers or until it passes on. And then they will go. It also says that your plans are about to go, you're about to go off track just a little bit. You'll get right back on, but plans are about to go sideways. It also tells you that something very wonderful is going to happen today. So the day's almost over, but something wonderful. Now, you won't get this reading until later because it takes me a while to upload it. When you get this message, after that, something wonderful is going to happen. So focus on that. There's other messages as well. So right now, Spirit wants you not to be afraid of your supernaturalness and your supernatural gifts. They want you to develop it. They want you to pay attention to what you're getting in your intuition. Because it isn't all about this material world. Now, I told you that there are 5 fish, and the 5 fish, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one coming from behind. Okay, 5. 5 fish representing the need for change, and because that a significant change is happening. The next message comes, she's wearing a fish, so that would be 6. It's a different fish, but it's still a fish. So 6 is several different messages. 1 means don't be so worried about this material world. We have a spiritual world that we're also connected to, and it's extremely powerful. You are connected to it. You have the gifts, right? Focus more on that. It also tells you that 6 is also a number for victory. Victory. I kept getting the B over and over and over constantly. Somebody sent me a card, and the sticker on the card was a B. B message, which means get busy and get after the honey. But for me, it was talking about victory. Sweet victory. So it's also, let's see, 6, victory, focusing on the material world is throwing you off, so focus more on spirit. There's another message for 6. Oh, my flowers smell amazing. I can't think of what it is right now. I'm looking at her, the silver necklace. Silver is clearing. I drink silver in a silver solution. Hold on. I was going to show you a few different items. I can't find the third, but this is silver solution. The ancient Egyptians would put silver coins in their water to purify it. Silver is purifying. It purifies your emotions, right? This is an immune support system. This can kill cancer cells. This kills the plague. It does. It kills, what is that parasite that you get when you go to third world countries? I can't think of what it's called. It kills it. Eye infections, kills it. This is different than regular silver solution, that colloidal silver. This is a higher grade quality. The technology is amazing in this. So I put this in my pet's water. I drink it in my water. I have toothpaste, silver infused toothpaste that I use. I have been literally healing my gums and my teeth. I went to the dentist. I was terrified. Went to the dentist yesterday. I have to get all these crowns redone. Stuff that was, since I've had really bad teeth since I was a little girl. I thought I was losing teeth. It was horrible. It was horrible. And I have been swishing and brushing my teeth with this silver solution, leaving the solution in my mouth. And when I got to the dentist, it had somehow healed so many aspects of it. This is Silver Stat antibacterial wound gel. It's all silver, right? Silver infused. Because and what she's got is a silver necklace. Her hair is silver, right? So she's wearing this silver fish around her neck. These are black moors that are surrounding her. I'm thinking of the black rose. I'm thinking of that one. That was the dark energy that's all around, right? And yet she is herself is like a silver light. She is purified, and she's wearing this silver purified necklace around her. So she's protected. Another message for the black moor. The black moor just speaks about, it's actually, that's a type of race, the black moor. That means that's a message for the one that I actually saw in my dream. So basically, Spirit says that you have these gifts and you have the ability to express them and use them, and they want you to. They don't want you to be afraid. And if you're working in the positive with this, you will be using them. You won't be afraid to use them. You won't be afraid of what you're seeing and what you're learning. If you're nervous about this, using them, if you feel that they're dangerous or that they're negative, you're in the contrary. You're in a reversed state. Or if you feel that you're unsafe, because you're not. You have gifts, you're powerful. You have connections all around you. These fish are freaking flying in the air, breathing air. That's basically saying miracles happen when we are connected to Spirit. And when we understand the connection we have. We are never alone. I'm looking at my messenger. I just want to see who it is. We're never alone. We can call on Spirit for help. So understand that you have gifts. You've been chosen to use your gifts. And if you are feeling like you shouldn't use them, you're afraid to use them, you're putting them on the shelf, or maybe you're feeling like you don't have them, that's not true. You do. So you need to discover them, and you need to learn how to work with them. You've got them. We all have them. We were all born with them. You just have to develop them. It's like freaking developing muscles, right? You can have nothing, or you can grow from flabby arms. If you work them out, you can get muscles in your arms. It's a fallacy that you cannot. So now we're going to go to the, and this was the deck that I used. Interesting, I show the lovers. The lovers is important. That means you're at choice. Could be that there is a lover, a protected union. That's what this is showing. The purple is spiritual protection, and these two are together. Energetically, it's a protected union, possibly coming into your life, or you were connected to that. We're working with the catnip. That catnip drives my cats crazy. It calms them, it relaxes them. They like it. It smells amazing. It's strong and hearty. And it's the color of growth, happiness, and health. That's another message. Using your natural gifts to, naturally, using gifts to understand how to heal yourself in a natural way, instead of using chemicals and putting chemicals in your body. Correct for neutrality on all levels. The black moor. I want to look that up. The black moor. He was very tall. The black moor. He was the one who helped Robin Hood, the Blackmoor, right? Correct for neutrality on all levels. This person in my dream, the father that hurt their child very, very badly, may feel bad, may regret that, and doesn't know how to take it back, doesn't know what to do about it. Use your gifts. Call upon Spirit to ask, to open up the hearts of everyone involved. And what can I do to repair the damage to this situation? But it would start by being truthful. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality. I also saw a woman with a child, and she was crazy. She was calling herself a spiritual person, and she was literally crazy, doing really, really evil things. So just because somebody calls themselves a spiritual person doesn't mean they're working in the light. Okay? Correct for neutrality. For everyone who chose the catnip, I did. I like catnip. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the catnip, correct for neutrality. You can give it to them fresh, they love it, or you can cut the little petals and dry it and give it to them dry. It's just as crazy, right? Sprinkle it around, calms their energy. It's actually really good for their digestion. So that's important right now. Somebody needs to take greens in their body. It'll be helpful for their digestion. Okay, remember I said to you yesterday that mockingjay, maybe it was 2 days ago, how I kept seeing the mockingjay, but the mockingjay never spoke? And the Canadian geese were teaching the mockingjay what to do. The mockingjay is a defender of territory. The mockingjay goes after what is theirs, defends what is theirs, speaks their truth, sings their song, right? That's what the mockingjay, but this mockingjay wasn't doing that. The mockingjay wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So the Canadian geese were going by calling. They were doing what the mockingjay was supposed to do. Speak your truth, sing your song, defend what is yours, go after what is yours. Today, you heard that one. He spoke up, right? Was speaking. So they're learning from the Canadian goose. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the cat mint. Cat mint is also what it's called. Catnip, cat mint. I have a big pot of natural mint, other mint. I put it in my water. So I'm wondering if I should take some catnip and put it in my water. Correct for neutrality. I want to know that. I want to know if catnip would work on a human the way it works on an animal. Correct for neutrality on all levels for those who chose the cat nip. Liberation. Okay, I like that because I keep going back to Notre Dame. The day before in the reading, you'll remember, if you go back, you can see it yourself. When I spoke about this French one that was connected to the person in my life that was causing all kinds of confusion. And I said, fly away, little bird, your house is on fire. Fly away home, go. And what happened? The next day, Notre Dame was on fire. Someone else sent me a dream about, and they talked about how they saw this man with a black cape that covered over this baby. And we were in an old building and they were being lifted. And I said, interesting, because 4 days before Notre Dame went down, or the spire went down, they removed the statues, the babies, the statues, the princes, the apostles from the inside. So basically the message was what was sacred was being saved. How? Divine intervention. People say, oh, it was because it was set up and they already knew before that this was going to happen. No, it was basically, that was a life being spared. Those precious items were spared. They were taken out before. That's the same message for the person's dream as well as for divine intervention with death shall not take them, right? That spirit is going to step in. So whoever, that's why I said I'm not going to get myself all twisted in a knot about this daddy long legs and about this one trying to suck my energy. I'll protect myself, but I'm not going to give you my energy. I'm not going to worry about you because I know spirit's going to step in and set things straight as long as I do what I'm being told to do. So here you look at liberation, and I was saying how I was happy when the Mockingjay went by because he spoke, right? He's liberating. He's liberating himself. So what's going on in this? I'm looking at this like a stained glass mirror, like you would see in a church, right? There's tears coming from this one's eyes, and there's also fire in their eyes, which is anger, upset, right? Straight-faced, not happy with what's happening here. So if there's somebody in your life that has hurt you or disappointed you recently, Spirit says that this is a mirror. I had an example of this the other night. I overheard somebody say something. They didn't know that I didn't mean to overhear them. I overheard them. And they said something not nice about me. And I thought, wow. And at first it was like, whoo. And then I thought to myself, I've said something like that too. So it was a mirror. It was a reflection. It hurt me because I recognized it, and it was a message to me. Be careful. When you speak about somebody, or it's not like, oh, just don't let them overhear you. But sometimes when you say things, you don't realize how they come across. Well, what if I said that? I have. And how would it have felt if that person heard me say that? I didn't mean it in that way, but how did it feel when I heard it? I didn't feel good, right? So they're telling you right now that if this person, whoever this is that's disappointed you or hurt you in some way, it's a mirror. It's affecting pain that's already inside of you. That's why it's pushing at you. And a lot of times we look at things in our life, events in our life, this is bad. That was bad that you did that. Or that's great that happened, right? It's either good or bad. And we can't really do that because nobody looks at things from the same perspective. Everybody looks at things from their perspective, right? So basically, Spirit says, if that hurt my feelings, if that got to me and it got me to a point where, wow, that really, really hurt, there's an aspect of myself inside that's actually wounded, that's really, that's already hurt inside. That's why it was able to pinprick me, because maybe that person didn't mean to do that. Maybe they didn't mean to say that. They didn't want to hurt me. They would never mean to hurt me on purpose, right? But if that affected me that quickly, if I'm that sensitive on that, there's something inside of me that's hurting. There's something inside of me that needs to be addressed. So what is it about myself that I'm so sensitive to that? Am I feeling bad about myself? What part of myself needs to be loved? What part of myself do I need to look at? Because Spirit's saying, whatever has happened to you that's hurt your feelings, it's safe for you to open up your heart. You don't need to close yourself down because you've been hurt. And you need to stop placing unrealistic expectations on yourself, expecting perfection from yourself, but also on others, right? And you need to love yourself. And when you love yourself, you can love another. You have to be your own best friend first. And when that happens, you're freeing yourself. So I'm not going to sit here and stress about, if you don't like me, that's not my problem. That's your problem. You don't like me. It's your choice. It shouldn't affect me. You're not for me. Somebody doesn't want to go out with you. There's nothing wrong with you. They're not for you, right? But we always internalize. We always think, oh, there's something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? Or, you know, there's some people that are just super sensitive. Now, I don't mean super sensitive as far as gifts or sense of smell or sense of energy. Like, I am a super sensitive as far as toxic energy. To me, it's toxic. It may not be toxic to another person. They may have a harder resistance. It may be, you know, that, oh, that's just water off a duck's back. It's no big deal. They're used to harsh, heavy energy. I'm not. I'm a super sensitive. There's a difference between that and being somebody that's got their feelings hurt so easily. You got to walk on eggshells with that person. If you say that sideways, oh, they're done. They're done. Well, what is it inside of that person that has made them so sensitive, right? There's something in there. It's a trigger, right? We have that too. So as soon as we can rise above that, we've liberated ourselves from being stuck in a place of hurt feelings and now shutting down our heart and not letting anyone else in. You hurt my feelings. You said that. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't even know I hurt your feelings. I would never have said that if I thought that would hurt your feelings. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. But a lot of times that's never able to happen because no one will tell. No one will say, that hurt my feelings. You know, I mean, you don't have to be somebody, oh, that hurt my feelings. I grew up with people like that. Oh, that hurt. Everything hurts your feelings. You need to develop a tougher skin. How about you just need to assume that people aren't out to get you? Because they're not all out to get you. When spirit wants you to be careful of somebody or something, they'll let you know, right? Like the narcissistic fairy. That's somebody who is talking shit on other people, that's gossiping, that feels entitled to money, fame, love, attention, but doing nothing to get it. That's somebody who puts you down, who calls you out on every single thing, that tells you that you can't do that. You will fail at that. You should be working on this. Anytime you make a choice that you regret, they'll bring it up. Right? That and then they'll be so sweet and loving and charming and, oh, your best friend, as long as everything's going well and what they're wanting from you, you're giving them. But then as soon as you pull that back, all of a sudden they're nasty and narcissistic. That's not being super sensitive. That's being smart. Stay away from that. That's toxic, right? Okay, so those are our messages. I want to go inside and I want to see, I'm going to look up the Black Moor. And I also want to look up, why would a human ingest catnip? I know that there was a Black Moor that helped Robin Hood. He was somebody that was a slave, and Robin Hood freed him, and he helped him. He worked with him. He was his best friend. Okay, so Black Moor. Black Moor. I know it's a fish, because I used to have them. Black Moor goldfish. Black Moor goldfish. That's a message in itself. Black Moor goldfish. Gold is self-worth, precious, fish, Pisces. It's actually a goldfish. They have telescopic eyes, which means they're able to zero in on things, right? They're the only fish. The Black Moor is the only fish that can live with the dragonfish. Did you know that? Isn't that interesting? Black mollies can live with the dragonfish too. Black mollies. There's something else I need to ask about. Who was the Black Moor? Who was the Black Moor? How about that? Who was the Black Moor? The Moors. The Moors, German word. Reference to African ancestry, the Black Moor. That's the one that's doing the witchcraft. An offensive, dark-skinned person. That's awful. Black soldiers, specifically identified as Moors, were actively recruited by Rome and served in Britain and in France. See, France. This keeps coming up for me. So it's the Moorish influence. The Moors were viewed as being mostly black or very swarthy, dark complexion. Remember I said I didn't want to say a specific race because I couldn't do that. It just was a dark-skinned person. So very swarthy. The original Moors were Egyptian, black Africans, Arabian, with woolly hair. I saw that in my dream last night. The Moors brought enormous learning to Spain. Remember I said the Spanish as well? Did I tell you that? The Cuban, Spanish, it was all mixed together. They were very advanced in mathematics, astronomy, art, and helped propel Europe out of the Dark Ages. Very, very smart. I know who this Black Moor is that they're showing me. Somebody who's sucking my energy. Okay, that's all that needed to be said about that. The other one was what? Why would a human take catnip internally? Catnip effects on humans because my cats get high on it. Cats feel effects from marijuana, but kitty pot does not have the reciprocal effect on humans. It's cats' marijuana. So some scientists, reported catnip gave people a marijuana-like high, but it turned out they'd mixed up the two plants. I mean, how can you mix it up? Seriously? Good Lord. Catnip is cheap and legal. If it had that effect, it would be stolen, right? People would be all over it. Animals can't understand that they're intoxicated, therefore it can cause considerable anxiety. If cats do, that's marijuana. That's why you don't want to give your cat marijuana. Now, that's another message about supersensitives, right? I told you this before, that you may be somebody that can smoke pot, but if you are super sensitive, and as you ascend, you become more and more sensitive, it can affect your mind in a way that it doesn't affect others. And just like a cat, it can be very scary because your body will react in a way that's very different to maybe your friends that are getting high. And I discourage exposing your animals to marijuana because it does not affect them the way it affects humans. It already affects me in a strange way. I definitely would not blow that into the face of an animal, which people do all the time. It's disgusting. As for smoking catnip, not only does it fail to get you high, it'll make you sick, so don't be stupid. But I want to know, is catnip beneficial for human consumption? I don't care about getting high. I just want to know if there's a reason we would take it. Okay, medicinal use for catnip. There's very little research available, so then the formal evidence, you don't have as much proof. But it has been used for an astonishing number of ailments with very positive effects. I knew that it had to be something that was good. It's relaxing and soothing as a tea. That's the main claim. I take valerian to help me sleep at night, and it's got basically the same natural ingredient as that. Although the catnip has got a stronger odor than valerian's got a very disgusting smell once it's dried. So catnip is good for soothing menstrual pain. I'm just going to tell you guys because somebody needs to hear this. It's got a mild anesthetic. So if you bruise the leaf, I bruise the leaves when I give them to my cats to release the scent, right? So if you actually bruise the leaves within your mouth, there's a slightly antiseptic feel. So it can be used for gum and toothaches. It can be used as teas and poultice. Like today I got cactus needles stuck in my leg, so that's actually something I can put on that to help it. So the mild anesthetic, it's similar to chewing on, if you chew on a leaf, it'll be mildly numb. So mild antibiotic to prevent infection, right? That's why I'm going to put it on my catnip, on my piercing, because I pulled out what I could, but it hurts me still. It's also a fungicide. It can be used in aromatic for, I thought salad for myself, because I love salads. So herbal hair dye. You can get this yellow meat tenderizer. Is an English tea that people would drink. Okay, this is why it came up. I talked about the Black Moor. I talked about somebody that was using binding spells. I talked about how we are not allowed to do that. And even spirit, even the angels don't step in without our permission. You absolutely, if the angels don't step in without our permission, you have no right to step in across somebody's free will. It has been used as love potions, as part of bonding rituals. This is how spirit works with me. I knew something was going to come of this. It's said that the leaf during the ceremony must be carefully kept, otherwise the spell will break. Now, I will tell you, don't think now that you're going to, oh, I'm going to go get some catnip and I'm going to do a binding spell. The ones that were doing these binding spells, that were trying to work with this black magic, it will backfire on you. It will make you, it will bring you the adverse effect. If you're trying to have a binding spell and hold somebody there, that person, it will reverse the effect. That person will end up hating you. The spirit won't allow it. It's crossing the boundaries. You're inviting dark energy in by doing that, and you're trying to take away their free will. So there is someone who is using energy to try and bind somebody to keep them from moving forward. A lot of times when somebody is too afraid to commit to another or come forward, but they don't want anybody else going there, they'll put their energy all over that person to stop them from moving forward and on their life, because they don't want them going, I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you. That's what's going on. So there you go. There's the binding spells, and that's why it all had to come up. Song right now. Somebody that took off. It's been a long time since I've even heard from you. I should just tell you to leave, because I know where this is going to lead. I heard you were out with another girl. Yeah, but I can't stop thinking about you. So is this a situation where somebody can't get you out of their mind, but they don't want to move forward? They don't want to give you anything. They can't get you out of their mind. They don't want you with anyone else, but they're not giving you anything, so they're binding you. They're holding you in place. That's not okay. It's not okay. So cut cords. So right now, we'll just do this. You go like this, and you're clearing your energy. I am physically clearing my energy, and I'm cutting cords. I'm going all the way around my body. I'm asking Archangel Michael to help assist me to cut cords and energetic cords that anyone else may have around me. I take all of my power back, and I give you all of your energy back. I do not allow anyone to bind me. I do not align with this. It's not okay. I block you. I cut you away. That's it. That's all it is. You just have to be consciously aware. Sun is a good item to use as well, to see yourself shielded and protected. I can also do that, right? I'm having my chakras, my crown chakra is moving very, very quickly. This is why I wouldn't encourage people to take ayahuasca or peyote or the moonflower or any other drug that opens up your mind that you can't control and you can't shut down, because any energy then is able to come in and do whatever they want and get their cords into you and hold you in place. None. I'm sorry. I break the cords that bind. I'm free. I am free. That's all you say. I am free. I am free. Freedom is my right. Freedom is my birthright. You do not bind me. You do not hold me. I am free. I make my own free will choices. Even God says that. Even the angels abide by that. All right, at 59 minutes, we're at a wrap. I love you guys. Peace, love, and light.